When PB met J. I think PB means peanut butter and J means jelly. When peanut butter met jelly, at last we can find out. Once upon a kitchen, the Friggers chilled on one side, the cupboard crew loafed about on the other. They are separated. We're so much cooler than the cupboard crew. Not to mention fresher. They're spoiled, all of them. Spent their lives on the top shelf. Jeepers, thought Jelly. Can the cupboard crew be that bad? Across the way, it was the same sour grapes. Brr, those Friggers give me the chills. We're a much cozier bunch. Never trust a Frigger. Eventually they turn on you. Ah, nuts, thought Peanut Butter. Can the Friggers be that bad? He had a secret question he's always wanted to ask a Frigger. The Friday night jam was the only time the Friggers and the cupboard crew mingled on the island in between. Tonight, they'd gathered as usual, determined to outdance one another. Jars shimmied, spun, and twirled across the countertop. They are dancing. Smooth moves you got there, extra crunchy. Peanut Butter sighed. He wasn't the best at boogieing. He couldn't help but notice how Jelly excelled at twirling. Though she looked a lot sweeter than the average Frigger, too. He might just get close enough to ask his secret question once and for all. You're from the fridge, right? Yes, I'm Jelly for short. I'm Peanut Butter, PB for short. They got to talking, and Jay didn't seem cold to PB at all. Plus, she smelled like berries. Sure, Jay found PB a little nutty, but he asked interesting questions. Speaking of the fridge, PB said, it looks so cool and glowy inside. What happens when the door... Scram, Sir Chunks. You're blocking the dance floor. Excuse me, but I'd relish this dance. Jay blushed. PB couldn't believe that Fancy Pants Pickles. How dare he interrupt? I guess Friggers only talk with Friggers, PB thought. He wished he'd never come. He headed home to the cupboard. That's when things spun out of control. Jelly took a twirl for the worst and completely lost her lid. The eggs quit rocking and rolling. The slicer stopped strumming. The jars froze. Everyone knew what was coming next. Cling, clingety, clang. Dog. They gasped. Sniff, 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 sniff. The dog caught a whiff of berries. Sniff, 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 sniff. Now his paws were on the counter. Jelly's glass rattled. There's the dog. Watch out. Oh, nuts, PB watched. The awful scene from up in the cupboard. There was only one thing to do. The only thing he could do. PB jumped. And landed wham on the dog's tail. Arr, said the dog. The poor pooch forgot about Jelly, but PB lay on the floor, lidless. His peanutty perfume drifted until... Jeepers, PB, cried Jelly. There was only one thing to do, and only she could do it. Everyone, Jelly commanded, lid launch. The condiments sprang into action. They popped their tops, undid their lids, and catapulted their caps into the air. Clang, clong, clingety, clingety, clang, clong, crash. Footsteps sounded on the stairs. Bad dog, came a voice. During kitchen cleanup, tops were swapped, lids were switched. The cupboard crew got mixed up with the fridgers. Milk and hot cocoa hit it off pretty well. Pickles found himself overheating in the cupboard, but didn't have the courage to climb down. As for PB, he snuck into the refrigerator and squeezed in next to Jelly. Peanut butter, my brother from the cupboard. Turns out you are pretty smooth, PB. And Jelly, you've got spice. From now on, we all stick together. Hey, everyone, what happens when the door closes? The fridge door swung shut, and out went the light. Ha! I knew it. Good night, all. I guess they became good friends under the moon. Anyway, we found out what happens when PB meets J. It was way more interesting than I ever thought. And I like that book, and I like you a lot.